Hello dear friends, today we have third lesson in integrated marketing communications, which is entitled as companies and integrated marketing communications. So we will try to assess this great concept and try to compare different types of the theories of the field to each other in the way to integrated marketing communications, how integrated marketing communications can be used and how they make company really competitive, wonderful and sustainable. So when we go to this way, there are different kind of theories, and I will not touch all theories. But the main theories of the field we should take into consideration when we speak about integrated marketing communications. So what kind of theories I love mostly? So there are three main aspects of the theories of the field we should take into consideration, and they are: the first one, this is neoclassical model of the field. The second one is market value model of the field, and the third one, this is agency cost model of the field. So right now we should try to assess how these theories they work and how they use integrated marketing communications as well. So all these models are needed to understand what kind of approaches from integrated marketing communication better improve the field, and in what kind of stage field should be fully adopted this kind of concept and fully using the concept of integrated marketing communications. So what is the neoclassical model of the field? This is most basic form the theory posts in single product field operating in purely competitive environment. Decision making is vested in an owner-entrepreneur way, and this kind of way is some kind of great objective, and company itself what is oriented to owner-entrepreneur phenomenon. This kind of company all times tries to maximize the dollar amount of the first single period profits. Given the standard assumptions of diminishing returns in the short run and some kind of these economies of scale in the long run, the firm's average cost function will have Y shape. So what does mean? That means that the owner's unambitious decision rule will be to set output at the point where marginal costs equal to marginal revenues. The neoclassical model of the field all times tries to develop profits and thinks about short-term profits and thinks about income to the company, to the field. So when risks they are high, in that kind of situation, neoclassical model tries to reduce great power of the risks through risk management and tries to improve sales, increase sales, make more sales and make more customers to come and taste the product, taste the service, and to try to improve and increase the market share. So this is neoclassical function of the field. But how this kind of function of the field is understanding and using well or utilizing well integrated marketing communications? So we can say that if company still is in neoclassical understanding of the firm's functions, and if company only thinks about income and profits, so such kind of companies, they cannot fully use advantages of integrated marketing communications, advantages of the advertisement, new type of advertisement or old traditional type of advertisement. So such kind of things, they cannot well utilize the personal sales operations. They cannot well utilize direct marketing, database marketing, viral marketing, buzz marketing, so public relation, digitalization of promotion, digital promotion, and all kind of things. What is it? Integrated marketing communications. So that means that neoclassical model of the firm is wrong, really wrong, to be used as a platform of the thinking of directors and philosophy of the firm at all. So if our companies still they behave themselves like neoclassical companies, neoclassical firms, we should try to break down the rules and make small revolution and give patterns of new type of thinking to make our colleagues, to make our companies, to make our firm to think like new type of company, what is not thinking like neoclassical firms were planning and organizing something in the period of past. But really I can say that a lot of companies, even today, they are in the period of neoclassical understanding of the functions of the firm, of the functions of the company. Still we see this, and really this is very bad, because such kind of organizations, such kind of companies cannot fully use advantages of marketing, and especially integrated marketing communications. Right now I want to speak about neoclassical models disadvantages. So the neoclassical model well known to marketers, but neoclassical model suffers from a number of limitations. When risk levels vary across project decision criteria, the focus on profitability will lead to not optimal decisions, and especially to not optimal decisions to integrated marketing communications. So what is the next model? What is the next theory of the firm? What can be checked in touch to integrated marketing communications? So the second model, this is market value model. So different marketers, especially Feyma and Miller, shown that the objective of the firm should be to maximize its present market value. This is good. This is better than neoclassical understanding of the firm's functions. For corporation, this is equivalent to maximizing the price of the firm's stocks. In contrast to profit maximization objective, the market value rule allows for the consideration of risk differences among alternative investment opportunities. If competitive capital market exists, firm management can pursue value maximization. And here we should try to understand that this is wonderful, interesting thing, what is net present value. So net present value all times thinks about marketing. And this is wonderful also abbreviation ROMI, return from marketing investments. So net present value can be increased from marketing investments, and so net present value is growing and growing when company does great marketing investments. But especially interesting process is value of the stocks. If they go up, this is done by efforts of marketers. This is done by efforts of traditional and new type of digital type of marketing activities. So what are marketing investments at all? They are all integrated marketing communication activities plus marketing activities, and that's all. This is integrated marketing communication investments. So this is all investments done in integrated marketing. So we can really well understand the advantages of integrated marketing communication and use net present value. Net present value really used to determine whether or not a campaign or initiative is beneficial to the company. A general rule of the thumb is that if net present value exceeds 0, the campaign is worthy or investment because the average benefits outweigh the costs. That means that campaign should be done. When net present value is less than 0, that means that the costs outweigh the average benefits and the campaign needs to be redesigned. Campaign, especially integrated marketing communication campaign, should be redesigned. So net present value allows marketers to compare return from marketing investments of campaigns with different budgets and time periods. It can also be used to calculate the anticipated change in share price for a company based on an individual campaign. So the last, especially very interesting type of firms theory, what I want to take into consideration today, this is the agency costs model. So the agency cost model, we understand that companies, they are established by some kind of shareholders, stakeholders, but shareholders, they are not managing companies at all. In our time, companies are managed by managers. So shareholders, they have their mission, they have their target, they have their goal, and their goal is to have great, nice, wonderful dividends. So they, in that kind of situation, they are not influencing the board of directors, and this board of directors can easily solve any kind of problems and easily can implement any kind of integrated marketing communication projects. So marketing projects can be well implemented, and this is really wonderful because companies with agency cost model, they are not neoclassical model companies, and they can afford themselves fully implementing any type of innovative marketing and management ideas. So this is wonderful, and such kind of companies, they fully use advantages of integrated marketing communication. So some firms, they think about sales maximization. So sales maximizing firms, they have very interesting touch points to integrate marketing communication. So marketers, they develop this model to include advertising in this model, in the model of sales maximizing firms. And this model predicts that sales revenue maximizing firm will advertise no less than, most likely, more than a profit maximizing firm. So sales maximizing firms, they will use integrated marketing communication really better than the firms what are still only directed to profit maximization. So as additional money spent on advertising will lead to more sales, this kind of sales maximization firms, they will all times rely on the integrated marketing communications. And this hypothesis was many times confirmed in different markets and different situations. So also what I want to touch today, this is behavioral theories of the firm. Hornby and other professors, they found that 51% of the firms could be classified as satisfiers by some decision. That means that once an objective or target had been reached, there was no impetus to improve on this. So that means that these companies, they are satisfiers. So if they achieved something, if they reach some kind of barrier or some kind of stage, after that they don't think to plan achievement of next stage. So there are 51%, even more, 51.9% of the companies who are satisfiers, so who can be entitled as satisfiers by the marketer, professor of marketing, Hornby. So that means that this result suggests that the firms were not consequently seeking to improve on their current performance, but they don't tell us what their current performance is. So right now we can say that integrated marketing communication can be fully used by companies who are directed to value improvement, who are directed to improvement of their market capitalization. So such kind of companies, or companies with new type of model, what can be entitled as a social cultural model of firms function or firms new type of development, is fully using the model of marketing communications, because without marketing communications, firms, they cannot use well the international, national, or regional and sub-regional, regional and place-oriented cultural and social functions. So right now, let's ask to ourselves, what is identity of the firm? Identity is marketing concept. Marketing is a social and economic process we should take into consideration. Corporate identity is usually thought of as being different from organizational identities, although there is some overlap in that kind of way. The principal distinction between these two views of a company reflects an internal versus external perspective. We will take this into consideration and we will explain this kind of perspectives. When considering organizational identity and imagery, one is looking within the company at employees or other internal stakeholders. When considering corporate identity and imagery, one is usually concerned with looking outside the company, especially in that kind of way we are speaking with public, with general public, and from this general public we can find also customers of the company, customers of the products and services of the company. Right now it's very interesting, what is the image? Corporate image is regarded as the global evaluation comprised of a set of beliefs and feelings. Can be really very interesting, very valuable in marketing success of the company, and we understand that this kind of global evaluation person has about an organization divided into feelings and beliefs can be entitled as the image of the corporation. The important point here is that an image is in the eye of the beholder. What is the reputation? Dowling, also very interesting marketer, in 2001 defined corporate reputation as the attributed values such as authenticity, honesty, responsibility, and integrity evoke from the person's corporate image. Reputation is like a brand pyramid, one very interesting stage. Reputation, when we speak about reputation, I am suggesting you to recall in your mind brand pyramid. In the first stage of brand pyramid we have salience of the brand. We have from right side we have hot way of branding, from left side we have cold way of branding, and here we have symmetrical blocks. From hot way of branding we have feelings, we have some kind of image. In right way, in left way of the pyramid we have performance, and on the performance we have one more interesting brand building block, what is entitled as judgment. This judgment makes reputation. This judgment is finished by reputation. This judgment all times brings the reputation. So that means that after judgment, if company has positive decisions from people discussing company and discussing details of the company, so this will translate it into reputation of the company. So reputation is very important. Not all companies, they can afford themselves to have this kind of great reputation. So only some companies having really resisted well all destructive ways of the market, they have reputation and they work as a companies, so owning something wonderful, what is reputation. Corporate identity. The idea of corporate identity comes from different great sources. So Dowling is one of the wonderful authors writing about corporate identity. So the words and symbols a company using to set itself apart from other companies, so people will recognize it. Originally, the study of corporate identity tended to be centered around a rather narrow graphic design perspective. So all these kind of things, they build company identity. There is no doubt that visual imagery via graphic design can play a significant part in corporate identity. So everything is started by some kind of design, some kind of shape, and we can say we can use following types of questions to understand: is the company equipped with identity? Is the company equipped with image? Is the company equipped with reputation? Or is the company having some kind of positive and really well-working communication? And is the company making branding of itself or not? So in that kind of situations, we can use the following questions about corporate identity. What are the company's distinct attributes? If someone from general public can well assess and well answer the questions about what are distinct attributes of the corporation. So that means that this corporation already has identity. So right now let's go to corporate image. How is the company currently perceived? If people have persuasion about the company and how it's perceived. So if they have well shaped answers about this kind of question, that means that corporate is going towards sustainable, really stable image. So how is the company perceived over time? This question is for reputation. If people they have answers to this question, that means that corporation is going to have sustainable reputation. And what does the company communicate and to whom if we have answers to this kind of question? Together we all, some customers and non-customers of the company, that means that corporation has good communications, well-working communications. And about branding, what is the corporate covenant? Covenant is a wonderful word. We can find this word frequently in the Bible and in the holy books. Covenant is a great thing. What is the covenant of the corporation? If you can answer this question, if I can answer this question, that means that your company is already going to the direction that tries to build, construct, develop great brand with great brand resonance. So corporate story is a wonderful thing, and we all love such kind of stories about corporations. Many people have written about this sustainable corporate story, basically describing it as a comprehensive narrative about the entire company, including things like its history and mission statement. Because it's unique to each company and goes beyond corporate image to include more descriptive elements, it offers an opportunity for creating a consistent, believable impression. There are different great companies having wonderful stories. Especially I like one interesting young company. People in this company, they are really very young. Their company is Runa. They make tea from jungles of Amazon. So they traveled in this kind of land. They were like me, Fulbright scholars. So I was Fulbright scholar at Yale University. They were Fulbright scholars and were sent to Brazil, to Amazon jungles of the Brazil. So they fully used their scholarship well, and they found wonderful tea. And leaves of these great flowers, they make people to have great courage to the life, and so they established their company, what is producing tea for people, and these leaves, they are coming from Amazon jungle. So, and this company is great. They have a lot of stories. They have wonderful stories how they found these leaves, how they found this tree, and how they came to idea to establish the company. Because this is wonderful how they decide to go to entrepreneurial life. So this is wonderful. There are different corporate stories. Lego's corporate story is wonderful. IKEA's corporate story is wonderful. Some people say that IKEA is the wrong title, IKEA is the normal title. So there are different kind of interesting discussions how this should be pronounced, IKEA or IKEA. So this is also very interesting. So question, what is the right, what is the wrong? And IKEA is a great company, really, and having wonderful story. So corporate advertisement, the job of advertisement in this sense is to build positive attitudes toward the company, leading to a strong corporate brand equity. And this, regardless the communication channel involved, should be developed in right way, should be planned well, and should achieve target customers. An advertising-like message can be delivered through channels well outside traditional media. Communication channels such as the annual report, employee newsletters, the chairman's speech to a financial group, websites, and etc. and etc. So this kind of communicational channels can be used to send advertisement-like message, because this advertisement-like message is awareness building message. How to differentiate what is advertisement-like message and what is promotional-like message? Advertisement-like message works for awareness. Advertisement-like message builds awareness. Promotion-like message improves sales. Promotion-like message increasing sales, increasing purchasing. So this should be all times taken into consideration. So to choose an optimal position would reflect marketing perception and satisfaction of the customers. To plan how to capture desired positions, marketing managers must negotiate with top management and stakeholders all times to try to widen or increase net present value of the company through ROMI, return from marketing investments. So there are very interesting things, and these things should be taken into consideration. Companies, they are positioned as a vision, so people should have clear vision, and they should try to help everybody in the company to understand this vision and turn this vision into mission statement of the company. So many companies pay large amounts of money for the research, design, and execution involved in creation and identity that is extremely distinguishable and appealing to the company's target audience. This is really the right way. So what is very interesting right now for you and for me, this is 3 parts of corporate identity. Once again, I want to touch corporate identity. First of all, this is corporate design, logo, uniforms, corporate colors, etc. The second, it is corporate communication, advertising, public relation, information, everything what comes to integrated marketing communications. And third is corporate behavior, internet values, norms, etc. So it's very interesting things that entitled as Three Different Worlds of Identity, Three Quadri Orbis, into Old Latin language. Three quadri orbis should be taken all times by integrated marketing communication process. So marketers involved in this process, they should know that three quadri orbis, this is three stages of identity. The first one, this is some kind of idea that everything, all kind of things, they begin with narrow world of graphic design, what we can call visual identity, visual identification. So the second one, this is organizational identity, and how to understand, do we have organizational identity in our company? How you should understand, do you have organizational identity in your company? You should ask question, who we are, people, who we are. And if your colleagues together with you, they have answered on this question, who we are, people, why we are here, who we are. So if they can say that, oh, we are some kind of guys, great persons working here, so that means that they have some organizational identity. But this third stage of identity is corporational identity, corporate identity. How to understand that we have corporate identity? How you should understand that you have corporate identity? You should ask question, what are we? Not who we are, but what we are. What are we? If you say, if you answering on this question, what we are Volkswagen, we are Lego, we are IKEA, we are so Mercedes, we are some kind of great brand, we are McDonald's. So that means that you have already corporate identity. And even going to birthday party, you bring this corporate identity because you know what you are. You know what you are. You know what you should be in future because you are happy being part of this great corporation, this great company. But corporate identity has also 5 different types, and these different types are really very interesting. The first type of the identity, this is actual identity of a corporation, reflects its various realities, everything from management style to market performance, structure to performance, everything goes here. Actual identity, how I'm identified right now, today, in actual time. This is actual identity. The second one, this is communicated identity. So how I communicate to others and how I send them my identity. So this is driven by corporate communications, well as more informal and non-controlled communication such as word of mouth communication, media commentary. So press release, public relation. So all these things, they do my communicated identity. The third one, conceived identity of a company, is the perception of it held by their various audiences. What is conceived identity? It's very pragmatic. This is third type of identity. The fourth type of identity, this is ideal identity, reflects what would be optimum positioning for a company. Right now we understand that identity, this is positioning. In ideal, this is like ideal. how my company should be identified according my ideal understanding of my place, of my company's place on the market, and how it can work really for my destiny, for destiny of my company. The fifth one and the last one and last type of identity of the company, this is desired identity, is what top management sees as their vision for the company, and desired identity is part of the strategic marketing plan and plan of integrated marketing communications, what should be achieved. So what is desired? This is really very important. Everybody should have desired identity. People, persons, brands, companies, firms, cities, countries, regions, they should have desired identity. This is very good, because if you know what is your desired identity, you also know to what frontiers you should move, to what horizons you should watch, to what kind of targets you should move your company. So visual identity has long history really, so started many thousand years ago, and potters inscribed their personal marks on the earth, and they were so trying to distinguish themselves, to put their identity in all kind of things they were producing. So there were a lot of different great designers using the concept of identity and develop the concept of identity. So right now, if we speak about corporate image a little deeply, so we should know that corporate image, so this is result how publics they process the information, they utilize the information, and they utilize all kinds of messages we send to them, and messages about us sent to them by other kind of agencies and facilitators of information. So they utilized all these kind of things, and right now they elaborated some kind of feelings to us, and this is our image. So keys to corporate meaning, it's very important. So to understand fully the concept of corporate meaning, we should know what is the corporate identity, how corporate identity is turned or translated into corporate image, how corporate image is turned and translated into corporate reputation, and how corporate reputation is turned or translated into corporate communication, and how these kind of things they are translated into corporate branding. So that means that all these things together, they make meaning of the company. So once again, why I want to tell you that corporate story has great role in this kind of corporate meaning. We should send to our customers the information about corporation, about corporate history, origins of corporation, and all kinds of things we tell them should be very short. We don't have big time. We don't have so this kind of enough time to say very large information, and everything, all kind of things, what we send them as a part of information should be relevant, responsive, realistic, and sustainable. To establish great corporate story, I'm suggesting you to use this abbreviation RRRS. Relevant, responsive, realistic, and sustainable. RRRS. So finally, we can go to brand equity concept. Brand equity refers to the marketing effects and outcomes that come from different marketing activities, branding activities, and they go to the value of the brand, and they can be compared to alternative product without such kind of brand names, without such kind of marketing and brand activities. So we can compare to each other two kind of things, with brand and without brand, two similar liquids, for example, two similar mineral waters. With brand and without brand, the price can be less, maybe 2 times less. With brand, price can be more with some kind of amount of additional values. So that means that this brand equity is value of marketing and brand activities fully implemented into value of the product. So how to measure a brand, especially brand equity? There are 3 methods. The first method, this is firm level method. Firm level approaches measure the brand as a financial asset. In short, a calculation is made regarding how much the brand is worth as an intangible asset. For example, if you were to take the value of the firm as derived by its market capitalization, this is approach, this is financial approach, more economic approach to measure a brand. The second way to measure a brand, this is consumer level. This approach seeks to map the mind of the consumers to find out what associations with the brand the consumer has. This approach seeks to measure the awareness, recall awareness, and recognition awareness. This is great distinguishing things between these kind of types of awarenesses and brand image, the overall associations that the brand has. So this is like very interesting. Recognition and recall brand awarenesses, they differ from each other. So through this awareness, through these awarenesses, we can measure consumer level point, consumer level knowledge of the brand. And free associations, tests, and projective techniques, and commonly used some different kind of interesting approaches can be used to uncover the tangible and intangible attributes, attitudes, intentions about a brand. So, and what is the third method measuring the brands? This is product level. The classic product level brand measurement example is to compare the price of a no-name or private label product to an equivalent branded product. The difference in price, as summing all things equal, is due to the brand. So this is very important. Right now we can say that all this is great wisdom, and all these things can be used well by you. You can improve your brand and make your brand really well working. Because we touched today economic and non-economic aspects of the firm's development, and we touched integrated marketing communications, how this concept of integrated marketing communications can be used by different kind of companies having different kind of philosophies of the company. So in that kind of case, we should try to improve the current philosophy of the company to utilize well the concept of integrated marketing communications. And as a final word, at the end of my class, I want to tell you that neoclassical philosophies of the field and some kind of philosophies looking like this kind of neoclassical model of the field, really they are obsolete. To make them to use new type of concepts of marketing, especially integrated marketing communications, and some kind of new ways, new approaches of marketing. So the firm's philosophy should be changed. The firm's understanding of its own nature should be innovative to make this field to be more effective using innovative methods of the marketing and especially integrated marketing communications, what is topic of today's meeting. Thank you very much once again listening to me and wishing you very nice, very bright and wonderful day. Bye-bye.